What's good, everybody? Israel, I'll come back at you on another video. So this video is going to be all about the unknown or the future, right? What the future has in store. And with this video, I want to highlight that it's time for you to begin getting excited and to start embracing the unknown. So once again, when I'm referring to the unknown, I'm referring to the future, right? What the future has in store. And what you need to remember is this. First and foremost, you are a divine creature and you have access to divine power, right? You have a mind, a logical mind, a mind that can think, that can reason, that, has a thought process, right? And it also has the ability to use its imagination, right? You have access to an imagination to create anything that you want to create. You can create any experience, any idea, anything, right? That you can make up in your mind, you can effectively create in the real world. And you need to understand that you are in fact creating your life moment to moment, and you are creating your future right now as we speak, right? The energy that you're putting out is the energy that you're vibrating, and the energy that you're vibrating is what gets attracted to you in the form of people, events, and circumstances. So it is in your best interest to manage your vibration, right? Manage your emotions, the energy that you're putting out, because you want to put out positive energy, and you do that by adjusting your thoughts, right? You want to begin looking at life from an optimistic perspective, right? What you need to remember about the unknown is this: all of the fun and the things that you're looking forward to are going to be in the unknown, right? We live sort of in a day and age where a lot of folks out there are fearful of the future, are fearful of the unknown. They don't know what the future has in store for them. They don't know what their country or what the world has in store for them. And so they're always living with anxiety, with worry. They're living pretty much on edge. And what you need to remember is that is, you're essentially vibrating negative energy, and that negative energy is effectively attracting negativity back to you, right? So you're effectively creating a negative future for yourself. But when you're vibrating positive emotion, that's when you begin creating and shaping a positive future for yourself. See, you're blessed because you have the power of creation. You can effectively, as far as your future, as far as the unknown, you can use your creative gifts to create more of the past, if that's what you like, right? Or you can use your creative power to have the future be more like the present, or you can use your power to create the future to be something like something you've never experienced, right? Something that's drastically different and significantly better than anything you've experienced in your life, right? You have that power, you have that gift. And you need to, or should be, getting excited and should be embracing the unknown, because all of the things that you desire, the things that you want, all of the experiences that you crave, all exist in the unknown. Because what you need to remember is this, right? You being in the present moment, a lot of things are already known, right? So the only way for you to get better and improve and grow as a person, as a human being, that's in the unknown, because these are unknown events or circumstances or obstacles that'll unfold in your way, so that you can overcome them, so you can be triumphant over the adversity. And that is what effectively helps you grow, right? In the unknown, or in the future, there's going to be more books that you are going to read that's going to help you develop into someone that's wiser, into someone that's more knowledgeable, right? In the unknown, or in the future, right, this is where you have many more vacations and trips planned for new countries that you're going to visit, for new restaurants and cuisines that you're going to try, for new people that you're going to meet, right? New opportunities as far as, professional, whether it's like career path, professional, or like even hobbies, right? There's going to be new toys for you to play with, right? Whether it's like new cars and vehicles, whether that's new, I don't know, gaming devices if you're a gamer, right? Like there's always going to be so much to do, so much to look forward to, so much to be happy about, right? And all of that exists in the unknown. What you need to remember is that the events that happen in your life, they're not good or bad. They just are. It's just we are the ones who typically assign it as an event that was either good or bad when it's never actually the case. And any and every event that happens in your life, you can always find something positive about it. You can always find something good about it, right? You can. If I give you an example, a lot of people dislike getting rained on, right? Like very few people, it seems like very few people ever want to get rained on. And if they do get rained on, they'll see it as a negative experience, right? Because they got wet and they probably got wet from head to toe and they're drenched, right? For my college graduation, for a lot of people, right, graduation is the most important day, right? Because you've made it to the finish line, you've made it to the end, and it's time for you to celebrate that and then pretty much say goodbye to all your classmates and all that good stuff, right? For my college graduation, it wasn't drizzling, it wasn't raining, it was legitimately pouring outside. It felt as though it was like flash floods, almost like a tropical thunderstorm the day of my college graduation. And the way my graduation worked, we had the graduation for the entire class. The graduation happened in the football stadium, right? And then for private universities, they typically have their own colleges within the university, right? Depending on what you study and what you major in. So the main graduation for the entire graduating class was in the football stadium, the outdoor football stadium. And then after the main ceremony is done, then you go to your respective college. So then you can hear your name called and then you can cross the stage and receive your diploma, right? So that's how the process worked. So on graduation day, it was pretty much like a flash flood and it was raining nonstop. And in a case like that, for most people, they'll say that it ruined graduation, that it was one of the worst experiences that they've had. But for me, it ended up being so memorable and so much fun because of the added element of the rain that honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like I wouldn't, having experienced what I experienced, right? It gave that day that much more color and it made it that much more unforgettable, right? Because I feel like there has, at least for me, there's not many instances in my life where I was just absolutely rained on. And so to pair graduation with being rained on, right, it made it one of the most memorable experiences in my life. And there's not a single detail that I would change from that experience, right? And that's what I mean when I say that life and events are all about perspective, because I can easily say that it was a bad experience, that I wish that, graduation was a different weekend or a different day. But I chose to appreciate it and embrace it for what it was, for the experience that it gave me. And you can do that, right? That is the beauty of understanding what the unknown is. Of course, the unknown being the future, right? Understanding that events are going to happen in the future, right? And you will experience contrast, right? And contrast is simply experiencing the things that you want, and then contrast, which is ideally the things that you are not a fan of, or the things that you might dislike, or experiencing like the opposite ends of the spectrum. You are going to experience events that deliver you the opposite end of the spectrum or provide you with contrast. That's still a good thing. That can still work in your favor, right? Because having the contrast, having the obstacles will give you an opportunity to grow, will give you an opportunity to be better and to improve. And then your new and improved version is now better. And that's someone that you can be proud of, right? To be more proud of the version you are now than the version you were before, right? Everything that already exists now in the present moment is already known. That means everything right now is pretty much like old news. It's like if things remain exactly as they are from now until the end of time, chances are you'll likely remain the same person, because you're not coming across new information. You're not, gaining new experiences. So without new experiences, whether the experiences are good or bad, right? You experiencing things is what helps you develop your preferences, is what helps you develop and helps you understand who you are. You can't learn about yourself and who you are without ever experiencing anything, right? If you were just born and raised in just like a white, like a room that's just like a white box, and there's nothing in that room. You know how like sometimes you see in the movies where like someone wakes up at like a mental hospital, whatever, and they're just in a plain white room, right? Like, imagine if you lived your whole life in just a plain white room like that. You wouldn't know anything about yourself. You wouldn't know how how tall you actually are, right? Because you haven't seen other human beings. You won't know your personality, if you're funny, if you're angry, if you're happy, if you're sad, right? Because you won't be able to interact with other people. You probably won't know any language. You won't know anything about sports or what sports you like. You won't know what foods you enjoy or what foods you prefer. You won't know what weather or climate you enjoy, right? Like, you wouldn't know anything about yourself because you didn't experience anything. So this is why you need to begin getting excited and embracing the unknown. This is why you need to begin getting excited and looking forward to the future, because a lot of people, they allow media and the news and all these external variables and other people, they allow other people to get into their minds and plant different ideas that aren't true, right? About, the future being scary, that the world is falling apart, that, the economy is going down the drain, right? And people begin to accept it as truth because they may think it's coming from a credible source, and then they'll be worried and anxious and just be afraid of living their life, afraid of doing anything, right? Because if you think everything's bad and falling apart, it's like you're going to live your life probably very conservative, right? With the mentality of just trying to survive rather than trying to enjoy your life, right? These ideas don't have to be true because they're not true, and they don't have to serve as your truth, right? You don't have to accept that as truth. You can decide how you want things to be. And I would much rather live a life being excited for the unknown, because that there's so many more brand new experiences for me to have. Just think about it. There's so many more countries and foods that I'm gonna eat and try, and so many more people that I'm gonna meet, and so many opportunities I'm gonna come across, and so many new hobbies that I'm going to try, and so many more things for me to be, do, or have experience. That's all in the unknown. That's all in the future that I haven't been able to get to now. And if things remain exactly the same, I will never be able to get to that. Right? So there's beauty in the future. There's beauty in the unknown, because it's only in the unknown is when you can experience new things, is when you can grow as a person, right? All of what you're looking for is all in the unknown, right? The new upgrades to your living situation, to your finances, to your family. Right now you're single and you want to eventually find a lover and have a family and all this stuff, right? Like, all of that is in the future. All of that is in the unknown. And you can't just say, oh, because it hasn't happened back then, that it can't happen in the future, right? Like, that'll be a silly way to think about it, right? I'm going to live my life with the mentality that there is so much good that's lined up for me, that there's so many miracles, so many more blessings, so many more adventures, so many more journeys for me to go on in the future, that there's no other option but for me to feel excited about the future, because there's so much more to do, so much more to experience that I have not experienced yet. So I'm hoping that this video will also shift your perspective and have you feel that same way, because I want you to wake up jumping out of bed excited, knowing it's almost like feeling as though every day is Christmas and your presence is already wrapped under the tree with your name on it, right? That's how I want you to jump out of bed, knowing that the gift that you've always wanted, that you asked for, for certain it's been given to you and it's under your Christmas tree, and you just have to go and unwrap it, right? I want you to begin living your life that same way, knowing that there's so much good that is lined up for you in the future, right? Because you're also creating your future, right? And I would like to think majority of us, is not virtually everyone, wants to create a better future than the present, or wants to create a better future than the past, right? Everyone wants to, I like to think ideally, right? Just striving to have a better future, to continue living a better life. And there's no better way to live it than to begin being excited and embracing it all, because regardless, even if you've experienced contrast or bad events, all that is just allowing you to determine your preference, right? It's just a new experience for you so that you can learn and better understand yourself, so that you can grow into the better or the best version of you, right? So don't be afraid, don't push it away, right? Accept it, embrace it, and begin planting the ideas and the new beliefs that you want to have, right? If you're someone who's been worried or fearful about the future, right? Plant that new idea in your mind. Say, you know what? I've been worried or anxious about the future and everything's been fine. Right? I've been worried for years and yet everything for some reason has always been fine. So let me begin believing that everything's gonna be fine in the future. Let me begin creating my future, creating that the unknown and believing that the unknown is gonna be good, that is gonna serve me well. Right? I believe, me personally, I believe the unknown is good, that the future is good, because I truly believe that this is a friendly universe. I believe that there are good people with good intentions, and I believe that there is a higher power watching over everyone and orchestrating all these events perfectly. And so, to me, I don't believe there's any reason to worry or fear. And I want to live my life happy and excited and doing what I enjoy. And I want you to begin believing and feeling and doing the same. So, this is why I recorded this video for you guys. I want you to begin smiling and getting excited because there's so much that's in store for you in the future. There's so many more experiences, so many things to look forward to, right? That there's no reason, there's no time to be just thinking about the negative or worrying about things that just aren't important or aren't true, right? Begin deciding that things are going to, you know, unfold well for you, and begin declaring to yourself, to the universe, to the world, that things are well, that things will continue unfolding perfectly, that blessings and miracles will begin raining down for you and for all your loved ones and for other people all around the world, right? That good things are on the horizon, that there's good people on this planet, that just great things are lined up and in store for you. So if you're just excited and you're just jumping out of bed and you're emanating positive energy, right, then what you're effectively doing is you're creating your present moment, but you're also creating your future. You're also creating the unknown, right? And with the positive energy, of course, you're creating a positive future for yourself. So hopefully with this video, right, it helps change your mindset, your perspective, that the future, everything that you could want and desire is going to be in the future, because you already know the past already happened and we're here in the present moment. And in the present moment, things are already manifested and unfolded. So at this point, it's old news, right? So you only ever have to look forward to the future, right? So might as well have something to look forward to. Might as well believe that there are good things ahead so that you can have a smile on your face and be eager and be excited for it all, because there is so much good in store for you. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe as you're on the road to me subscriber, guys. So once again, it's Joel and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.